It was just the buildings were supposed to go because they're a symbol of something, and do it when hardly anybody's going to be there, so that the body count would be low.
He does have, though. He's not as I was going to say moral, but I don't know if that's the right word, because he does offer Evie the choice of going to kill the guy that killed the guy she was living with, Gordon. But out in the garden, he says all you have to do is pick that rose, and that the killer that killed your lover, I will kill. So when you take matters into your own hands like that, justice in your own hands like that, that's borderline. You're going now into being a vigilante, so because you're going outside the law. But he's not worried. He would kill, and he has no qualms about killing. So he's not innocent. He's not innocent, but it's not these calls to.
No, but in a world where there is no fair system of justice. If that guy's a government employee who killed this guy or whatever, I thought it was just a thug.
I thought it was a finger. A member of the finger. No. That he was causing some problem.
No, because that guy stabs him through the door with the sword. It's just it's the Scottish guy, and he has a guy with him. I just took him as thug.
That's that guy. Well, but he is working for the government.
Harry Osborn.
He's working for that guy's wife.
He's not a name tag on their people.
At that point? No. It's page 131 where he's chasing him. And
what about all the people that V killed that were at the containment camp?
But didn't somebody send him to kill him? No, there was a whole thing about the shipment about drugs or guns or something like that. So why would they come to his house then? Because they were chasing him into his house and he ran into his house.
I think he's looking for a reason of why they were chasing him into his house.
Something about the booze. There was like let's see. He says here, I'll take more than dash. I'd have to read it again, but I mean, at that point he's not. Creedy doesn't hire that Scottish guy until all hell starts to break loose. And then he brings him into the finger. At that point, he's just a thug.
But I could have sworn he was still a member of the government.
No. That comes later. And he's not even officially into the government. Creedy just says, hey, I want to hire you and your men because some stuff's going to come up and I need extra men. And we can't take care of all this chaos because all the cameras are out and all that. That's when he actually starts to hire them.
Well, either way, I don't get any sympathy.
I found it hard to read some of the UK slang, or maybe it's the Scottish, whatever.
It was just Scottish, the Scottish.
It was thick.
Yeah, I was just reading this. I'm like, this isn't making sense to me.
You have to do the Scottish accent in your head, and it helps a little bit. But there were still some parts I'm like,
I kept thinking Scrooge McDuck here doesn't help this bad.
Did you when Evie gets terrorized? When Evie gets put away, did you know? Did everybody know that was V, or did you know it was just?
I suspected it was him, but
Shane didn't get that far.
But even in the movie, I mean, I know the story before I read it. I knew what happened basically, but even in the movie, at first I didn't think it was him. But when he wore the gloves, because there was that one time where it looked like the one head guy, like the second in command, Creedy. It looked like him in the movie. And I thought, oh, maybe it's really not. And he's just going to bust Evie out at some point. And then towards the end of that, when he actually had the gloves on, I thought, no, that's him. And that's how it progressed and turned out. But no, I wasn't sure at first. I had an idea, but there was so much against it that I didn't think it was.
I kind of figured the way she was abducted. It just seemed kind of very VS. That's how he worked. But like the way he operates, just coming out of the shadows and grabbing somebody, even though he wasn't in his V outfit, it's still kind of like, it seems like what V would do. Just made me like, it's probably just a setup.
I thought that was the again, you read these stories and you start to go, wow, there's so many elements in storytelling that exist even before the stories we read. I mean, there are hardly ever new ideas, but it's just the way you present them. Because It feels very Matrixy, that whole scene about what we're used to since, what I'm used to because I saw Matrix first before I read this, the whole releasing Evie, and there's elements of that in Invisibles as well, and then to read it even this farther back, and it makes me wonder, how much farther you're going to go back. Obviously, you can go into psychology and all that crap, but it was such a powerful scene that...
some people's profession.
Sorry.
Send your letter, your email.
Oh, you psychos out, so send your letters to...
It was so powerful, but and I guess this is when, even though I missed the whole twist in Unthinkable, the movie Unthinkable at the end there, but this one I kind of, as soon as I saw it, I went, Unbreakable. Unthinkable.
Whatever. What is that?
Yeah.
This one, as soon as the scene started happening, I went, oh, okay, this is V. This is V getting her back and trying to work her over. It was, but still very. I'm not pointing this out because it's a criticism. I'm just wondering how that scene played out for other people.
Here's a comment from Matt Kramer, Darth Kramer on the forum. At the beginning of the story, we have V as a lone dissenter in a totalitarian government. He has fresh ideas and seems to be acting for himself by taking out those who have wronged him in the past. It's important to note that V doesn't look at himself as a hero. He looks at himself as a villain, and even the devil himself. Evie looks upon V as a great individual and even falls for him a little bit. When we learn V's backstory, we learn that the people he's targeting have all since moved on to high-ranking government positions, so maybe V's personal vendetta isn't as personal as it seems to be. In the second part of the book, V is teaching Evie to be an individual by tormenting and torturing her. He opens her mind by putting her through the same hell he went through, by isolating her and taking away everything that she knows. And finally, when she's faced with the decision that she can either sell V out or die for her ideology, and she chooses the ideology, that's where she's free. That's also where the line between individuality and the ideology is crossed. In the final act, V is shown to be what he really is, a figurehead for an ideology. After Evie spends the time in the Shadow Gallery reading and listening to music, she absorbs everything that V has absorbed. Then when V starts to talk to her, she realizes that he's full of shit. He doesn't have any individual ideas himself. He's basically just regurgitating everything from old philosophy to Rolling Stones and Velvet Underground lyrics. Realizing that V is just a man then, V must die and become a martyr for his ideology to finally reach a broader base. When the government puts out the message that V has been killed, it's then that Evie must take up the mantle of V to show that the idea cannot be killed. It's important to note that the public then takes on V's ideology more and more once the government stops observing them, as the former nameless masses begin to take on individual actions. On a contrary note, I think that in a different situation, V would have acted as a totalitarian. It's just part of his anarchistic nature and further illustrates why he is not a hero.
Oh, you missed the bottom part. There's long live George Bush.
Here's another comment from the forum from Bulwark. Talk about the ending that we already mentioned and I talked about. In my personal interpretation, the last few pages reveal just how hollow and bitter the future is still going to be. Once you look past the grand principles of the Shadow Gallery, you run right into the real shadows, the real darkness and chaos that's going to swallow the country, including these struggles to raise armies. After all, the V followers are just another armed mob. That's why Detective Finch's stories in the book is so important. He walks these steps, he lives the hell, but rather than getting caught in a mob vendetta, he pursues the true anarchic ideal. Yeah. Leaving behind society to find his own way as a man in the final battle.
So what do we think of the movie?
Natalie Portman was hot.
It's too bad when she, like in the book, she didn't stand naked in the room.
Yes, I
Well, see, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because everybody's making a big fucking deal about her shaving her head. And I'm like, you know what? Bullshit. Because stand her ass out in the rain, even if you don't see her naked, but you see her back, then I will say she took a chance. Oh, I cut my hair. Good fucking deal. Shut up. Oh,
It reminds me of a young Sigourney Weaver.
No,
from Alien 3.
Oh, please.
No, I gotta tell you, Peter, if you didn't think she was hot in that baby doll outfit, there's something wrong with you.
No, see, this is, again, that baby doll outfit was ridiculous. It was meant to be ridiculous. It was meant to
I don't care.
Well, you may say whatever you think it is. I call taste, because I'm sorry. She did nothing for me. And if that's the only thing you focus on the movie, yes.
Did you like her in the role at all?
No.
Really?
No, I didn't. No.
I thought her accent came along a little bit at home.
Yeah, very much. Very much. Wait, but I don't want to talk about the movie. Like, let's talk about the movie, but not the movie versus the book, because that's a whole different thing, I think. So.
Well, are we gonna talk about that?
Yeah, we will later. But because I was ready to jump on the whole movie versus the book.
Because I can't.
Excellent.
I honestly can't. Okay.
Way to steer the ship there, Gilligan.
Yeah, because
you have to though, because otherwise it's going to get to.
As you mean, that's the whole thing. That it was, on its own. I don't know what the hell I'm saying now.
Tasha.
Because it's tough. It's just for me.